Welcome back to the Racing Mind video series, where we journey deeper into the human mind than anyone has ever gone before. In this video series, we untangle the ancient mystery of mental illness and teach you what you need to know before your racing mind gets the best of you. This groundbreaking series provides answers to some of the deepest mysteries of the human mind and reveals, for the first time in history, the precise cause of mental and emotional illness and the psychophysiological basis of a wide range of psychiatric disorders and associated medical conditions. These educational videos, which present concepts that are so new that they are just beginning to make their way through the medical field, are based on thousands of hours of direct patient analysis and clinical observation in conjunction with the latest research on psychiatric disorders from around the world. In this segment of the series, we will discuss psychotherapy in relation to neuronal hyperexcitability. As the name implies, psycho, meaning mind, and therapy, meaning treatment, is targeted at healing the mind. However, the mind works in conjunction with the brain, and so any treatment that targets the mind must also take into consideration the health of the brain. The means by which the mind interacts with the brain is via the generation of magnetic fields. Every thought and emotion generates a characteristic magnetic field. These magnetic fields then induce electrical activity in neurons that are uniquely responsive to those magnetic fields. Likewise, the firing of specific neurons in the brain stimulates related thoughts and feelings in the mind. This allows the mind and the brain to communicate in the same language, electromagnetic energy. What we call consciousness, or more accurately, corporeal consciousness, because it is dependent on brain function as opposed to incorporeal consciousness, which is independent of brain function, involves a synchronization between mentally induced magnetic fields and neurologically induced magnetic fields. Through this synchronization process, signals in the brain can cause unconscious thoughts to become conscious. Likewise, unconscious thoughts can cause the associated signals in the brain to become active, particularly if closely related circuits in the brain are already being activated. Because neurons lose their adaptive changes over time, the ease with which specific circuit loops can be reactivated, a process that underlies recall, depends on both the frequency with which they are activated and the length of time that has elapsed since they were last activated. This explains why learning and memory require frequent repetition. The relevance of this to understanding psychopathology is that hyperactivity in the brain can bring irrelevant thoughts and emotions into consciousness. It can also bring entirely new thoughts and emotions into consciousness, including distorted, inappropriate, or completely erroneous ones. What's more, it can cause these thoughts and emotions to be abnormally amplified and prolonged. The most common cause of neuronal hyperactivity is stress. Hence, stress can amplify, distort, and prolong the thoughts and emotions that are associated with the stressor. It can also cause delusional thinking and sensory distortions, such as hallucinations. This is particularly relevant for those whose neurological systems are inherently hyperexcitable. Such persons tend to overreact to stressful events and continue to dwell on them due to the failure of their neurons to self-regulate. Unless this problem is addressed, there can be no assurance that psychotherapeutic interventions will target pertinent psychosocial issues rather than merely brain-derived psychopathology. Therefore, every psychotherapeutic intervention should begin with a thorough neuropsychiatric evaluation. The importance of this cannot be overestimated, as virtually every person who becomes psychiatrically disturbed to the point of having to seek professional help has an inherent hyperexcitability of their neurological system. Correcting this problem removes the neurological spam that tends to amplify, distort, and prolong the mental and emotional pain that define mental illness. When treatment begins by quieting an overactive brain, much time and effort can be saved by both the patient and the therapist, and the therapy is more likely to address the real issues. As discussed in previous videos, The most effective natural ways to compensate for the gene abnormality that underlies neuronal hyperexcitability include stress reduction, establishment of an early sleep schedule, regular exercise, enjoying a relaxing hobby, avoiding caffeine and other psychostimulants, and minimizing refined sugar. If these interventions are either too difficult to implement or fail to yield satisfactory improvement, then treatment with neuroregulators and other brain calming medications may be necessary, particularly during high-stress periods in the person's life. Control your brain, control your life. We hope that you are benefiting from this video series. Portions of this video and others in the series were taken from the books The Racing Mind and Am I Depressed or Am I Bipolar? Those interested in developing a deeper understanding of this topic can also refer to the scientific publication, The Multi-Circuit Neuronal Hyperexcitability Hypothesis of Psychiatric Disorders. Please note that these materials in this video series are for educational purposes only and are not intended to guide treatment without formal evaluation. This video series is sponsored by the Binder Foundation, a charitable organization that is dedicated to the enhancement of human life through research and education on disorders of the mind, body, and spirit. If you have found this video to be a benefit to you, please share it with your family and friends. And please don't forget, your feedback is important to us.